So SS, this is that really boring video y'all were wanting to see. I deeply, or not, I couldn't see making it something totally a waste of your time. And the question came up in a couple of different live podcasts over the weekend. So, then my wife did some research and she forwarded her findings to me, and I continued to expand on that. And well, bummer. This is a chicken video. Said it was going to be a chicken video. I will splice into this random chicken videos.
Them little ducks just to come a running.
Love. My. Other annoying things. Just to make it fun so that y'all can glean the important literature from the voiceovers. Anyway, nuclear war survival skills. Yes, this has to do with chickens. I could read y'all the first several paragraphs about the minimal need for food. We all understand that we have to have X number of calories a day just to be alive. Less than 2,400 calories a day on average, human beings starve to death, sitting on their butt doing nothing. It takes 2,400 calories a day just to be alive. Okay. Loss of high protein animal foods. Chickens, cows, goats, dogs. Hold on. I have to get over here. This is small onion. Forgot something. This is the one my wife paused the video. This dehydrated peanut butter. It smells just like peanut butter, but I ain't lying. Just add a little water to this, and it becomes peanut butter. She says it's good, but it's hers. I don't get to eat it. It doesn't have like the fat and stuff in it because you take the oil out, but it's like protein in the part where, you can't eat the animals because, well, they'll kill you. This weighs nothing, and it's from day to manufacture to when they say you don't need to eat anymore is 2.5 years. So I figured it's safe to double that. And you people too. This would go really good in a bucket. I'm just saying. Bucket, bin, tote, whatever. Yes, that's dehydrated peanut butter at your fine stores.
Albertsons and Walmart, I know of.
Yeah, we got this one at Walmart. We didn't look at the other one. UGG 90.
I know they have it at Walmart, at Albertson. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they would since Albertson.
Yeah. Probably got it at Costco. I'm just messing. I don't know where Costco is. We don't shop at Costco. But yeah, that's it. Because I hit the wrong button, we're going to be splicing this. But that's okay. I mean, what else do I have to do? So I have, I sure don't have any technical skills.
Yep. Because I get in trouble for those situations.
Y'all are going to be glad that she got me to pause it though, and stop, because she's like really smart. She can save y'all's butt just like she saves mine all the time. But anyway, what we're talking about, lots of high protein animal foods. A massive nuclear attack would eliminate the luxurious, complicated American system of food production, processing, and distribution. Extensive heavy fallout and the inability of farmers to feed their animals would kill most of the cattle, hogs, and chickens that are the basis of our high protein diet. The livestock most likely to survive, despite their owners' inability to care for them, would be cattle on pasture. However, these grazing animals would swallow large numbers of fallout particles along with grass. And many would drink contaminated water. Their digestive tracts would suffer severe radiation damage. Also, they would suffer radiation burns from fallout particles. Thus, in an outdoor area where total dose from gamma radiation emitted within a few days from the fallout particles on the ground might be only 150 Rs, most grazing animals would probably be killed by the combined effects of external gamma radiation, beta burns, and internal radiation. Well, damn it. Precautions when eating meat. In areas where the fallout would not be enough to sicken animals, their meat would be safe food. In fallout areas, however, animals that have eaten or drunk, it says drunk, fallout contaminated food or water will have concentrated radioactive atoms and molecules in their internal organs. The thyroid gland, kidneys, and liver especially should not be eaten. So, the parts of the animal that keep you from starving to death from meat starvation. You have to eat stuff besides meat. You need vitamins, minerals, iron, all that kind of stuff. The stuff that's in the organs. That's why we eat organs. Bummer. If an animal appears to be sick, it should not be eaten. The animal might be suffering from a sickening or fatal radiation dose and might have developed a bacterial infection as a result of this dose. Meat contaminated with the toxins produced by some kinds of bacteria could cause severe illness or death if eaten, even if thoroughly cooked. This thing goes on to talk about the fact that just because they got irradiated doesn't mean they're going to be sterile. They can actually get over the irradiation and go back to being viable breeders. And after they've done that, their offspring will breed, dependent on the level of radiation. It goes on to say that it ain't a real good idea to expect to live off the land eating plants. Just saying. This is in the event of radiation. Even if almost all food producing animals were lost, most surviving Americans should be able to live off the food that enable most of the world's population to live and multiply: grains, beans, vegetables. And because of the remarkable productivity of American agriculture, there usually would be enough grain and beans in storage to supply surviving Americans with sufficient food for at least a year following a heavy nuclear attack. The problem would be to get the unprocessed foods, which are stored in food producing regions, to the majority of the survivors who would be outside these regions. Surprisingly, little transportation would be needed to carry adequate quantities of these unprocessed foods to survivors in famine areas. Now they're trying to unscare you. We're going to skip over that because it's boring. Basically, the food's going to be there. How they're going to get it to you, and they should be able to get it to you if they can fix the roads. But trust me, the government guys, the top end guys, aren't going to be out there in the loader or the dozer pushing the fallout off the roads into dump trucks so that the trucks can go up and down the road to deliver the food. It's going to be usins getting cooked alive so that they can continue to live. Just saying, it's actually in the plan. If you read the handbook, that's what they expect. Live off the land. Very few survivors of a heavy attack would be in areas where they could live off the land like primitive hunters and gatherers. In extensive areas where fallout would elephants eat grass, not be heavy enough to kill human beings, wild creatures would die from the combined effects of external gamma radiation, swallowed fallout particles, and beta burns on their bodies. Survival plans should not include dependence on hunting, fishing, or gathering wild plants. Food for shelter, it's got an improvised grain mill, grain storage, yada yada yada. I may put the link to this page. It's too much to cover in this little video. But let me find this other. This one? Yes. Anything. Basically, this whole PDF here. Anything over 1,500 rads, the eggs are not viable. Which means the fertile egg will not incubate, will not produce a chicken. It's dead. The radiation killed it. They will start to form. They'll lag behind horribly below 1,500 rads to 1,200 rads, down to 600 rads. But they won't make it. 500 to 600 rads, they will turn into chickens, sorta. Some of them make it out of the egg. They didn't check to see if they'd make it to adulthood. 200 rads, I believe, 270 rads. There was a 64%. 60-something% of them was okay. Below 150, it basically, is that what it was? 150? Hold on, let me find that. That's important. Ugh, there's pictures. But yeah, their guts don't close up or nothing anyway. Basically, the radiation gets in the egg, and they were just left outside in low-level radiation for 6 hours. That was it. Is what this test was. And then they were cleaned off and they were incubated. And, well, the radiation gets in there and it does something to the egg. So I can't find anything on whether or not the egg stays radioactive. I know that if fallout gets on your canned goods, in theory, you take the canned good outside and you rinse it off. And whatever's inside the can is still edible. Because the radiation is actually in the dust. It's in the fallout. The radiation from the fallout isn't bleeding radioactivity into. If this video sucked stuff, it's emitting radioactivity. I've done this before. That's the simplest you can make of radioactivity. It's burning, okay? And it's just going to burn and burn and burn. The longer it burns, the smaller the fire, if I can make it do that, until it gets to where it burned, the fuel's burned off and it's gone. This is from, the kind of radiation that you find in a nuclear bomb. It's designed to burn really fast. Now, some of it's 24,000 years is the half-life on it. That's just stupid. Makes a real good bomb, though. Yeah. All you've got to do is keep your stuff away from the radiation until the fire's done burning. And then after the fire's done burning, or it's down to coals or whatever, you can go out there and you can bury the coals and let it finish burning out under the soil. Now, after the radiation is burned off, then you're good to go. You just don't want to be there while you don't want the fire on you. That dust on you, the radiation burn is a burn. That's why you wear the clothes, and gloves, and boots, and all that stuff, and the mask and everything. And to think about it, if the stuff gets in you, the particles get in you, then it gets into your lungs, your bloodstream, your stomach, your intestines, your thyroid, and it burns them, scars them, changes the way they are. And some of the radiation is in there. It can stay alive long enough. It's got a half-life of 3 years. Too late. That's a long time to have something in your body burning. You don't want that. See how long I've done this. I rattled on probably too long. Yeah, that's 12 minutes. There will be some chicken videos. What I gleaned from this paper real fast, or these papers actually, you have to have enough food stored. Just dropped a full clip of man killers. You want enough food stored to keep your animal out from under the dust the same amount of time you want to be out from under the dust. You don't want your animals out there eating, you already watched it, off the ground that has radiation all over it until you get the radiation covered up, or you can kill your animals. And if your animal gets sick, you can't just go ahead and eat it because the radiation's in it, or it's sick. Now, the number one uno worst, all-out nuclear war. That's worst possible scenario for anything. Solar EMP thing, No big deal. Rig goes down, we have to hold our own for a couple of years. Don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose that. You just have to hold your own for a while. Nuclear, you're looking at watching your butt from now on. Literally having to live in fear every time you take your bandana off. Am I going to breathe in one of those little ground black pepper sized pieces of 24,000 year half-life stuff and die? Am I gonna slaughter a chicken and eat it and come to find out he ate one of those things and now my chicken just poisoned me? You know, it's it's kind of messed up. But yeah, that's it. Have a nice day. God bless and keep you. Anybody that thinks it's okay to let little fat boy get a hold of something like that, they got no sense at all. I'd a whole lot rather their chickens were glowing in the dark than mine. I'm just saying. Y'all have a nice day.